Hello, this is Darlene J. Clark. Thank you for coming to support this channel and helping get the word out to help protect our children. Let's bring child abuse awareness to the front. Let's go and help our children and other survivors. Be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Please subscribe, like, and share. Your stories are very important. I start out by reading Matthew 18, verse 6. But whoso shall fear one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. Got two more verses that I think are very important to share during this time as well. In Matthew 18, verse 10, take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. Amen. And in Colossians 3:21, fathers, do not embitter your children, for they will become discouraged. Under the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is the use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Hey there, Jackie. Good to see you, girl. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you are here. Amen. We do need to stand up, and I think it was a very important, especially with this last verse that I just did about fathers embittering your children, because today's story is Craig Lawrence from Cassopolis, Michigan. He raped his two daughters at his home, at the children's home. The children resided. Hello, Jessica. Good to see you too. Thanks for coming. God bless y'all. I will go ahead and I will share the screen because you know that I share where I get the proof from. I don't just talk about it. I share it. Father found guilty of raping his two daughters in a family home for a decade in Cass County. You are quite welcome. Thanks for coming. Greg Lawrence was found guilty by a jury of sexually assaulting his daughters for a decade. That's 10 years, everyone. But he was found guilty. Thank God he was found guilty. You'll read more in a few minutes about more about the case, and we'll find out more when it comes to. All right, in Cassopolis, Michigan, from 2010 to 2019, Craig Lawrence raped his two minor daughters in their family home, Cassopolis, Michigan. Tuesday afternoon, a jury, which you can see the date on this when this was published, November 22nd, 2023. So Tuesday afternoon, a jury in Cass County found him guilty on 10 counts related to the assaults. The two girls, who are now 21 and 14 years old, testified that their father began grooming them at an early age, before eventually escalating to the numerous assaults over the course of a decade, which the girls described as unspeakable. Cass County prosecutor Victor A. Fitz said both girls provided emotional and convincing recollections of the highly disturbing sexual abuse meted upon them by their own father. Fitz shared that Lawrence's wife, the mother of the two girls, also testified saying Lawrence is extremely controlling. Fitz said she indicated from the stand that when the girls came to her and told her what happened, she reported the crimes to the Cass County Sheriff's Department. Good. I'm so glad that when she heard about it, she went forward. A lot of people, they try to hide it in, they get scared of the man. Kudos to the mother for getting it out there, getting something done. Testimony showed that the assaults occurred at the family's home on Brownsville Street in Cassopolis, where Lawrence took the stand. Oh, sorry, when he took the stand toward the end of the trial, he claimed the girls were concocting the rape allegations in order to seek some kind of financial gain. What? They always blame the victim. They always blame it. They always, they could even say, well, she's the one that came on to me, or that's what she wanted. No, this is a child. You're the adult. They got claims, they got the proof. Their stories were true. Their stories, although it's hard to hear, they were found to be true. There was too much evidence, and their stories very convincing. After just under 3 hours of deliberation, the jury returned the verdict. Your dad tried that too, Jackie? Lawrence was found guilty on 10 counts of first degree criminal sexual conduct, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison and a minimum of 25 years, and 7 counts of second degree criminal sexual conduct, which carries a maximum sentence of 15 years. That this was a terrible betrayal by someone who should have been the strongest protector of his own daughters, said Fitz. But these brave girls have assured that the defendant's predatory days are over. We appreciate the efforts of the jury in providing validation for these survivors and justice for this rapist. Lawrence is scheduled to be sentenced on January the 26th, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No sentence is good enough. I'm talking about why can't we go back to even the biblical days, like in this banner right here, when the Bible itself says, but whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. People say, well, God would just swipe it under. They tell us to forget about it. They tell us all these kind of crazy things such as this. But look, so many people say they don't believe in God because God allows. Look what He's mad about it. God's mad about it. He's angry about it, even in the Bible. Yes, you want to put up our trigger warnings, Jackie? Yeah, please put up our trigger warnings, y'all, if y'all do not mind. Appreciate that. Yeah, and Jessica, you are so strong, and maybe get up here again sometime and give people a refresher on your story because we know I remember what your story was and is, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who would like to come in here and support you the next time we go to do it. It's mind control and fear control. And they're right about the grooming. They start off with the grooming. You start doing things as a little bitty girl and get them used to something, and then they get so scared or petrified, and they look at it as normal. There had to be other evidence lying around before these girls talked. So that's why I'm a little bit dismayed about the mom. Seriously. Wondered whether the mom lived at home or whether they were separated, divorced. You could look at your daughters. Thank you, Jackie. Appreciate that. Yeah, they do victim blame. It's true. Like she said, her dad tried that too. Jackie is Jessica is a true inspiration in itself. Boy, y'all will love her story. Her dad, oh man, she didn't care. She kept running. She kept running. She faced him. Man, I'm thinking about Jessica's story here too, and wow, all I can say of her life is wow. She wasn't going to sit still at any place where they bothered her. She ran. And the police didn't protect her. They didn't protect me either. It's like everybody was afraid of our parents back then. I guess this guy is also known as a narcissist when they behave in this manner. But there were two little girls, and a lot of times the little girls has a friend that comes over. And I'm praying to God that he never messed with any of their friends as well. But as we all know, that when you go and even do that with your daughters, there's probably other victims out there as well. So y'all, please stand up. If you are a victim, stand up. You might say, well, I'm scared or um, it was a long time ago or whatever. This person might be out there still harming our kids. And if you tell and get the story out there, you're going to be showing them, look, people, stay away. Stay away from this monster. And you know what's weird? Exactly. Gaslighting is for real. It's a shame. The crazy thing is, they try to make it out as we are the crazy ones. How dare us to speak? How dare us to get the word out? How dare us be an abomination of God? And that's what they try to, a lot of the churches around me and everything tells me. I'm an abomination of God for getting this stuff out there. I said this plenty of times and I'm going to continue to say it. They still try to silence you today. Even though this stuff happened to me a long time ago, I'm still getting victimized by the government, by the churches, by these different people who just wants everybody just to be quiet, just to sweep it under the rug. But you know, you are allowing the pedophilia, the sex trafficking. You're continuing to let it go on when you're remaining silent and doing nothing. You are a part of the problem yourself. Yeah, I'd be glad when Jessica becomes a therapist. I think she'll make a really good one. She's one smart cookie. That's their maneuver. That's their tactics. They'll try anything to get us to be quiet. As you all, once who knows me, knows that even my stepmom held me down and raped me and did something with the baby. And later on, she threatened me about doing something with my kids, my other. And yes, they tried to kidnap my oldest son that through my marriage when he was a kid. He can remember me outside. The bus never came down our road because we lived at a dead end. So he got dropped off at his grandmother's house. And I just started running towards him, run, 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 because the two guys in a white van, the driver, he stayed right there while the other guy got out when my son got off the school bus. And then he proceeded and went and opened up the side. You know how on a van, the doors slide down, slide open? And that's what the guy did. And I started yelling and screaming for my son to run, run, run. He ran. The school bus started taking off. The very next day, the school bus driver saw the van behind her again. But this time, she didn't move. This time, she had somebody following the school bus at a safe distance so that try to trap somebody into getting scared not to do it again. These manipulators tried to shut me up and do something with my kids for me speaking out. You know what? That just made me angrier. It made me angry that the police would do nothing. It made me angrier that all this gets swept under the rug and like it's okay. These perpetrators can continue doing this. I'm not saying all cops are bad. Now, there are some good cops out there that will serve and protect, but don't lose hope, people. There are a lot of people who genuinely care. They care about you, whatever happened to you in your life. You might say something like, I didn't have it as bad. But the thing is, abuse is abuse and is highly intolerable. It doesn't matter to what degree you were abused. It should never have happened. Sexual abuse should never have happened. It cuts to the core. So many people think that you could just get over things like the sexual abuse and stuff. Do they not realize the internal damage that it does to a small body? Do they not realize they think that it's mostly emotional damage? Yes, there's emotional damage, of course. They don't realize the internal damage of a grown man, a grown adult, hurting children in this self deprecating way. Like I said, some parents do not deserve to have kids. Some parents did not have kids, but yet still go out and scope out and hurt other kids. Now, there are many ways in which the world is hurting our kids sexually, too. They have these different ways, which I'll get in and go into detail sometime about the sexual extortion. They'll end up extorting pictures, getting you to send a picture and then blackmailing, making you think it's somebody in your school or something, making you think, well, this ain't going to happen to me. I'm going to meet up with this cute boy from school. Girl runs out there when the parents are asleep. All of a sudden, that grown boy got her, grown man, and she ends up kidnapped and gone. That's why we as adults, kids might get ticked off and will be ticked off if you tell them, let me see your phone, let me keep your contacts, Let me watch whatever goes on. They'll be mad about it, but you're the parent. You are supposed to protect the kid. Oh, thank you so much, Saint Ryan Rain. Appreciate that. If you ever want to talk about it, feel free to discuss it with me. I'll be glad to have you on a show sometime or be supportive to you as well. I noticed we got a lot of friends at Facebook, a lot of survivors. This is not just a rare case. Like y'all can even go to unfiltered stories. They got a lots and lots and lots of people's personal stories. Anybody got any questions they'd like to say too? I'm gonna go ahead and show this too. Correct, Sterling. They want to shut us up exactly. Our home is a war zone. And the fact is, people say, well, I'm glad about vacations and everything. What do you do then when you're on vacation and you're at home and your perpetrators are your parents? There's no way of escaping. Funny thing is, at times I did see angels around. Y'all might call me crazy, but I did. I'm not gonna lie about it. I can only attribute me surviving to the good Lord above. A lot of people say, well, it was your strength. No, it was not my strength. And I'll tell y'all that right here now. It was not my strength. I got tired. I wanted to give up. I was so mad that I kept trying suicidal stuff and it wasn't working. And I'm laughing about it today because it's like, okay, like the story of Jonah and the well. God told Jonah to go to Nineveh. Jonah's like, I ain't going to Nineveh. He gets on a ship and tries to go somewhere else. What happens? Then there's a storm and he gets thrown out into the sea, right? And then he gets swallowed by a big fish. And guess where the fish spits him out at? The shores near Nineveh, right? Like, you weren't going to do this regardless? Grew up in Lebanon and in the Arab countries. Stuff. Yeah, I see a lot of horrendous stories over there, and I am so sorry how y'all are treated over there. It's devastating. And the bad thing is, a lot of these kids from these other countries, they'll sell them and bring them to the United States because the United States is one of the biggest places to buy the children for sex. So look it up. It's been shown. We live in a great country where we can protect. So everybody needs to band together. We don't need to judge others and say, you should have done this. You could have done that. If it was me, I would have done this. I would have done that. I wouldn't have allowed him to do that. Excuse me. When you're a kid, when you're living that life, whatever you're under the will of your parents, of these sadists, you don't have a choice. You're a kid. You don't have as much strength as a grown adult has. You didn't live that life to say what you would have done and what you could have done. It was my life I lived. It was St. Ryan's. It was Jackie's. It was Jessica's. So many other victims and survivors and thrivers. And we're not saying this out of sympathy. We want action. We want results. We want everyone to help one another and stop this sadist act. Bind together and let's get the job done. Stop turning our backs on our kids. Did y'all ever see the videos sometimes where you see this grown adult got this kid's hand and this kid's yelling, "You're not my daddy. You're not my parent. You're not my parent. Let go." But sometimes it could be the parent, y'all. But don't just turn your back on it because what if it is one of these perpetrators and this kid's trying to let you know this is not my parents. This he's kidnapping me. She's kidnapping me. Please help me. And what's even crazier is they tell you that trust a cop. What are you going to do when you can't go to a cop? What are you going to do when you can't go to the school teacher because the school teacher is a pedophile? Also, it is kind of hard finding somebody to trust. There was this particular school teacher. If she would have asked me, I think I would have ended up telling her just because I loved and trusted her that much. She was such a caring, loving teacher. But I was already groomed and I was already threatened by the police that I better keep my mouth shut. You are strong. Keep up the good fight. You are worth it, and our kids are worth it. You are worth killing. We need a change. Like yesterday, like years and years ago, we needed the change. Too many people are still tripping over their own 2 feet saying, well, I don't want to stir the pot. Don't you think they're already stirring the pot? They're already messing with our kids. They're already being inhumane. And one problem I got, yes, I hate it when they hurt a cat or dog, an animal, okay? But why are people so much more quicker to react to a dog or cat being abused than they are to a child? I don't know if y'all noticed that or not. Like I said, I am not discounting the fact about people sticking up for animals, okay? I'm saying that they are not sticking up for the children, though. Why don't you give them the same account and notice, even more so? Why aren't you out there trying to get the job done? Our kids do not deserve this. Our kids deserve to be loved and nurtured. You had childhood trauma, mentally abused, but you know, when I read that a little bit, some people get a little offended when they said it made me who I am today. A lot of people will say, "Well, I get upset about that." But the thing about it is, it made us that much more when we want to fight out against it, right? We're fighting mad, like we're not going to stand by it. We understand it. We don't want this to happen to anybody else. It made us warriors. Right now, the only thing that's coming to my mind is we're not going to take it anymore. I love that song. We're not going to take it anymore. Exactly. That's how you see the red flags. Jackie, Jessica, are you still here? Jessica also has a YouTube channel, and she is a true warrior sister. I think you and her would be awesome friends as well, Brian. don't hesitate to write. Y'all can find me at Facebook under Darlene J. Clark, or write me on here uh, on my profile page, and then I'll try to get with you and try to get the information. Oh, cool. We like that. Still here? Yeah. I wonder if Jessica was still here as well, because I think y'all two could be really good friends. I don't think I don't think you have Facebook, but y'all still got other avenues where if Jessica was here, I would ask her if she would like me to give out the information where you can write her. And I want to say thank you for everybody that's coming. Please get the word out. Stand strong. We are warriors. Our kids need us. They're the victims who's treated us this way. Y'all my heroes. You are all heroes in my eyes. Thank you. I appreciate and I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all need me, try to hit me up. I'll be glad to talk with y'all. And I'll say God bless to y'all. Thank you again. Do something nice for yourself today because you deserve it. Don't let anybody demean you. Keep away from the toxic trash. You had enough toxicity in your life. You don't need more. Thank you so much, and God bless y'all.